All right, thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, and participate in the conversation by upvoting and commenting on the thread. I'm here with Tom Vanderford for his weekly Friday segment. We're going to talk about all things Ole Miss sports. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, I'm doing great. Best I've felt in a long time.
Yeah, that is fantastic. You're doing the radiation now?
I start that Monday.
Okay.
I start radiation and a chemo pill Monday. So they gave me a little bit of a rest time in between chemo and radiation. And I know why now, because today is the first day in months I felt like me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you probably get to just get that little gift, but just to know about the radiation, it's going to be weird. It's going to feel like a sunburn. It just is. Yep. So just expect that.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we did a stripe out against Kentucky. It went fairly well. The fans actually participated. Kind of blew my mind a little bit. And they created a great atmosphere at 11 a.m., Tom. It was pretty good to see.
I can't believe it. I just, when they've tried to do things before, like everybody wear this color or everybody wear that color, it's just, blown up in their face. But the stripe out impressed the heck out of me. Because I personally know people who have always been, I'm going to wear what I want to, that were like, oh, I'm in the blue section or I'm in the red section. So they're buying, the people I know anyway are buying into Lane Kiffin. Yeah. They're buying into what he's building at Ole Miss. And I expect the stands to be sold out and full against Auburn, even though it's an 11 o'clock game. Now, I can remember years ago, 11 o'clock games, man, you could forget it. There'd be 5,000 to 10,000 empty seats, but he's really got the fans have bought into what he's selling.
Yeah, the changing landscape of TV. The reason everybody looks down at 11 o'clock is because that was the original JP game, the Lincoln Financial game. Whenever that happened, that was like the sixth SEC pick of the weekend at 11:18 on Saturday morning. And everybody has in there, after 20 years of doing that, well, they're just like, okay, 11 o'clock is that. But that's not the case with the 11 o'clock ESPN game. It might be the case for SEC Network. It might be the case for ESPNU. That's not the case for ESPN. So, the Red River rivalry is going to kick off at 11 a.m. on ABC Saturday. Does that mean they think any less of it? No, they want that.
Right. They're going straight from game day to Oxford, on ESPN, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you got to look at it positive. Yeah, I was really impressed with how we played Kentucky. I'm not going to lie. I had a friend of mine here that was watching it with me. He's a Southern Miss guy. And when number 2 had that big run, catch and run for Kentucky, I left the room and lost my religion for a while. And then he's like, hey, Kentucky fumbled. I ran back down here and rewound it. But, oh, man, that was a wonderful, and they never gave up. Mm-hmm. They never gave up, and one of our transfers,
Jared Ivey
got the strip, and one of our transfers from a couple of years ago from Canada fell on it. So, and that's just shows more how Lane and his staff know how to find what they need.
Yeah.
And I don't think this defense, I think I read where you said this too, but I agree with it. I don't think this defense has reached its full potential, and I know the offense hasn't.
No, yeah. They're so far for this team to go to hit their ceiling, and they've already got a top 10 win this season. That's exactly important to realize for people following Ole Miss football. People say, Kentucky lost that game. No, they didn't. A blocked kick and 2 strip fumbles. That is not Kentucky's fault for doing it. There's people trying on the other side as well. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's just a crazy thing. But some people just need to complain. They need to find something. Even my father sent me a text message after the Ole Miss Kentucky game that just said Kiffin lucked out again, and it was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I got a text from somebody that said, "Well, we stole that one." And I'm like, "Hey, I'll take it. A dub's a dub."
Yeah,
and the team grew from it. The defense got more confidence. I haven't seen an Ole Miss defense hit like that since 2015.
yeah, they're good.
They were lighting Levis up.
I saw somebody on.
As a matter of fact, I think I read today he might not play this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And if that happens, maybe South Carolina has a chance of keeping it within a touchdown. I still don't think South Carolina will win the game, but maybe they have a chance to do it because I just do not like Spencer Rattler.
I don't either. I am so happy we dodged that bullet.
Yeah. He's a mess, man. And, I saw somebody on Twitter talk about this defense, and they compared it to basically an angry middle school field trip of unruly kids as far as undersized people just causing all kinds of havoc coming from everywhere. And, it just makes sense. I agree. I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. And I think it's going to work really well against teams that run and against teams that predominantly pass. We've got those hybrid combo safeties that will knock your jock off, and they can come up quick and stop the edge runs and we've got enough beef up front where we can do better with the run game total. So I think something that opened my eyes last week is when Georgia Tech beat Pitt.
Yes,
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Makes me wonder if Tennessee is good.
Right. Well, and in the same way, Appalachian State, Troy took them right to the brink. So you see where your teams that you played are playing other people better, and that just gives you a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt game this weekend, though, anybody that's been an Ole Miss fan for very long knows that this is their Super Bowl. But I don't think they've got the horses to stay up with us. But they're improved. They're improved. Yeah. If we play them like we played them last year at home, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
But I think I have faith that Lane Kiffin and company know what to do. Clark Lee, he's going to be a good head coach for them.
Yeah.
But I've got faith that we can throw the ball on them. I've got faith we can run the ball. I think we can run the ball on anybody in the country.
Yeah, I described Vandy this week as they're not a good team. Don't hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying they're better. So the Vandy that you saw over the last 5 years, this isn't that team. This is a little bit more organized. This is a competent team offensively and defensively. They just don't have the horses yet to compete. But I would put them in 12th in the conference right now ahead of Missouri and Auburn.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. I think they're 3-2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And they played Wake Forest decent. Wake Forest is a good team. But it is at Vandy and so on and so forth. But right now, I just think that we've got too much talent for them.
Yeah.
Once again, Lane did a great job in the transfer portal. And we're finding out that they found the right fits. I was worried about, and I think everybody was, about team cohesion and how everybody was going to gel together. But if you saw after the Kentucky game, the locker room video, man, they're all on the same page. I mean, I saw Dart and Aisheem Young hugging each other, and, everybody just getting along just great. They did a fantastic job getting all these kids to come together.
Yeah, and I think
And it's
everybody
that once again. Oh, go ahead.
everybody needs to realize a finish like 2008 is possible with this team.
Definitely.
So, yeah, if they hit their ceiling, let's say it could start with that Texas A&M game, and then November they just shoots through. So there's about 3 or 4 different ways this season could go, and 3 of them are unbelievably positive, and one of them kind of is meh. But that's kind of what this season looks like now.
Oh, definitely. I can, and you can't, these bowl previews or these bowl predictions, they don't mean anything. But at the beginning of the year, we were predicted in the lower tier bowls, and now, I mean, I saw somebody predict us in the Orange Bowl. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, that goes with winning and so on and so forth. I saw a lot of people. You'll like this pick. A lot of people put us in the Citrus Bowl, which it'd be right down your alley.
Yeah. Orange Bowl, Citrus Bowl. Yeah, let's do it. I'll go.
Yeah. So I just we have a lot of positives, and it looks to me like the roadmap to get better each week is working. Mm-hmm. I have seen vast improvements on offense and defense from game 1 to game 5.
Yeah, and speaking of that, let's talk about Jackson Dart a little bit. Talk about Jackson Dart versus Troy versus what you saw against Kentucky, because I saw a really improved quarterback. Not a finished product. He's not where he needs to be, but he's 2 or 3 steps above where he started at.
Oh, definitely, and I think with more reps, he'll get even better. Now he had that one mistake against Kentucky, that one pick. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, he ran it when he needed to. He made the right reads. He had some wonderful throws. That one throw to Malik Heath, actually 2 of them, he was throwing off of his back foot.
Yeah, he throws that
because the rush
really
was coming,
pretty.
right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a beautiful ball both times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd argue that first incompletion was a completion, but that's beside the point. But he looks good. And speaking of Malik Heath, he's emerging as a weapon.
Yeah.
He had some issues at Mississippi State, and Lane brought him in and has coached him up, and from everything that I can find out, he's a model kid at Ole Miss. So, and he knows that, the pro mindset, the money years, so on and so forth, but he's very talented.
Very talented,
he's
very
a good
humble.
offset to Mingo, right?
Yeah.
Because, Kentucky was double teaming Mingo, and Heath was eating them up.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. And like I said, if Jalen Robinson comes back this week, you have Jordan Watkins, who has worked in that slot receiver and was he's kind of developing a rapport. So if Jalen Robinson doesn't kind of grab that position by the horns this weekend, he might not do it for the rest of the year. So what score predictions for this weekend do you have, Tom?
Ole Miss 37, Vanderbilt 14.
Okay. I went with 38-14. So, brilliant minds, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think this is a game where A.J. Swan is going to have trouble against Ole Miss's defense. He's a true freshman quarterback. I think he's going to get fooled a couple of times with this defense.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're gonna scheme in the defensive backfield. I mean, we may get a couple of picks. We've got the horses up front when they're healthy to put some heat on the quarterback. I love what. And I hope I'm not going over on my time, but I got to say this. I love what Chris Partridge is doing with this defense, him and Mo Crum.
Yeah.
Last year and the year before last, and it may have been because of talent. I'm sure some of it was because of talent, but I saw the same thing with Texas A&M against Mississippi State this weekend. Durkin is very, very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him rush 3 all weekend, not blitz much, and he got tore apart. And I don't think you'll see that with this Chris Partridge, Mo Crum defense. We're going to bring some people at different times. We're going to do some funky things, and we've got better talent than we had last year. More of it, actually. So, we've got, when you have more depth, and I just think we're really a good team.
Yeah.
We've got the capability of being the best team we've been in a long, long time.
We're definitely the most talented, potentially in my lifetime.
I agree. From top to bottom. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got people like Kentrell Bullock that are like not getting touches, they'd have been in the rotation 5 years ago. It's just different. And I can't stress enough. I say we owe it all to Lane Kiffin.
Yeah,
and I think he's bought in. He's established a culture. It's working, and he's building something special in Oxford. And that's why you get those snarky comments on, our comments on YouTube, because when Ole Miss is just mediocre Ole Miss, it's no big deal. But when they see what Lane's doing, it worries some of them.
It should. I had a tweet yesterday that just simply said, people get genuinely upset. They can't stand to see a confident Ole Miss fan, and the media can't stand to see a confident Ole Miss. So both of those, whenever you see outsiders get angry and they just want to put Ole Miss back in that box, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Not as long as we have Lane Kiffin. It's not going to happen. And he's a sharp guy. He's a sharp guy. I can't say enough good things about him. We're very fortunate to have him.
Yeah, enrollment's up, everything's up, and it's because of Lane Kiffin. Pay the man whatever it takes to keep him. He's a treasure.
Exactly.
And we're in the top 10. We're going to Sugar Bowls. Lane Kiffin's here. What can we not do that he wants to do? I mean, that's the question you have to answer. The reason that he would leave is because he wants to do something that he feels like he can't do here. Exactly. What would that thing be? And the answer is nothing, especially not Auburn. Yeah, nothing.
When he came to Ole Miss, he said, I know we can win here. I was on a national championship team and came in here and got beat. So I know that you can win at Ole Miss.
Yeah, if Ole Miss goes to a New Year's Six bowl game this year, if they go to the Orange Bowl like is predicted, that'll be 4 New Year's Six bowl games in 8 years. You can win at Ole Miss.
For a little Ole Miss. And, even in the COVID year, he got us to our first ever Outback Bowl.
Yeah, right down the road.
Yeah, Outback, Sugar, and whatever we get this year. Hey, these are great times.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be a Rebel.
Yeah, if we don't make it to the New Year's Six, we haven't been to a Citrus Bowl. I would enjoy that. I would go down there and we would do some kind of locked on party that week.
Oh yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be a ton of fun, but it should be fun. Anyway, get more on the SEC by making Locked On SEC your second listen. Everyday host Chris Gordy and local experts of Locked On take you across the SEC in 30 minutes. It's Make Locked On SEC your second listen. Locked On SEC. Tom, thank you so much, man. Enjoy the game. And, of course, I'm looking forward to it to next week already because I'm sure by the time you speak we record this on Thursday for people that don't know. By the time Thursday hit, I'm going to be just triggered at Auburn fans because I'm going to hear so much about Lane Kiffin leaving.
Oh, yeah. More power to him.
Anyway, take care, Tom.
Take care. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.